Yeah, apparently Jimmy Dore has gone full 9/11 truther. Um, so you guys remember how like I talked about the conspiracy singularity? You know, the black hole that like slowly pulls different conspiratorial movements together. Well, Jimmy threw his lot in with the anti-vax conspiracy big time, okay? And now we can see he's moving from that into 9/11 trutherism, which I'm sure from there he'll go into I don't know, chemtrails maybe. Maybe chemtrails we'll start seeing him talking about the I don't know, the idols of Moloch or like some sort of like blood ritual cabal. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be kind of esoteric and weird with his conspiracies, but they're all gonna wind up at the same place. Anyway, let's see what he has to say. What are Jimmy Dore's great insights on 9/11 tapes?
Pictures we've all seen too much on television before, when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed dynamite to knock it down.
And there it is. And that's Dan Rather, literally as it's coming down, falling into its own footprint. He goes, well, those buildings look like like when we see a building demolished on television, like it's coming down. I wonder why it looked like that. You know why? Because it was.
Wait,
Okay.
Charlie Sheen,
Hey,
when he
guys.
said "looks to me," he was the same as Dan Rather. Charlie Sheen saying that.
Yes. Here we go.
Did they actually use the word brought down, and who was it that was telling you this?
The fire department. The fire department.
This is
and,
there it is.
they
These
did
are all
use the
different
word, "We're gonna have
angles.
to bring
You see all
we're
the
gonna have to bring it
explosions?
down."
So those are all different angles of Building 7 coming down. Here's another one.
Shockwave ripping through the building and the windows all busted out.
Now the interesting thing, here's another version. Here's another angle. Now if you think that building fell into its own footprint because a plane hit another building, I've got a vaccine I'd like to sell you.
Yeah. Why would why on earth would a building collapse under its own weight? That's never happened before.
For implosion, looked like it had been done by a demolition crew. The whole thing just collapsing down on itself.
So I just wanted to show you, this was predicted. That was, so BBC, 20 minutes before that building fell, the BBC did this. Now, this is the only video I could get of it. I'm going to apologize for these graphics being there, but the BBC predicted they were broadcasting in real time, and they said that Building 7 had already fallen. They called it the Solomon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, if you still watch Jimmy Dore, like, I hope you acknowledge that you're like not on the left anymore. You're just being pulled into like an Alex Jonesian black hole out of which you will never be able to climb. Like, you're just
Maybe
intellectually
it dropped straight down cause they targeted the huge
stripping
fucking weight
yourself.
into top of the building that is used for a counterbalance.
Like, I mean, you can say like, oh, I started watching Jimmy Dore because, you know, he had some ideas about mask mandates that I agreed with. You know, whatever. But like, at this point, recognize that you've been duped. Recognize that this guy is not offering you anything of value or substance. He's not actually contributing to any meaningful, like, movement in society. He's just grifting you so he can get, like, another vacation house.
Building, because it was owned by this guy Solomon. So let's watch this.
Heard a few moments ago was talking about the Salomon.
Check that TikTok channel. It's wild. Wait, what's on the TikTok channel? Jimmy Dore was on InfoWars a couple of weeks ago. Okay, wait, I'm not surprised to hear that. They were just circle jerking one another the whole time. Well, yeah, because they're the same guy. They're the same guy. Jimmy Dore and Alex Jones are the same guy. Jimmy Dore is just like what, like more alcohol and 10 years behind. Like give Jimmy Dore like another few years of this, he'll be right where Alex Jones is right now. He'll be saying like school shootings are faked or whatever.
Brothers building collapsing, and indeed it has. Apparently that's only a few hundred yards away from where the World Trade Center towers were, and it seems that this was not a result of a new attack. It was because the building had been weakened during this morning's attacks. We'll probably find out more now about that from our correspondent Jane Stanley. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building?
Now, when they throw it to her, Building 7, the Salomon Brothers building, is still standing over her shoulder, and they're talking as if it had already fallen. So let's watch.
Yeah, they flew a passenger liner into it, Jimmy. It's not the most structurally stable building around. Gee whiz, I can't comprehend why someone would think that a passenger airliner going full speed into a building might lead it to collapsing. I just can't figure it out. Are you sure? Are you sure? Why is this such a puzzle for you, Jimmy?
Behind that, there's an empty piece of what was a very familiar New York skyline, a symbol of the financial prosperity of this city, but completely disappeared now, and New York is still unable to take on board what has happened to them today.
Presumably there were very few...
So that was the BBC, and in real time on television, telling you that the Building 7 had already fallen when it hadn't fallen yet.
Uh-huh. God. What, like, honestly, this is your come to Jesus moment if you're a Jimmy Dore viewer. Like, you gotta recognize the kind of slop you're watching. Get better slop. You deserve better slop than Jimmy Dore, okay?